Okay, I'm going to start with the breakdown on the practice quiz, aggregate supply and aggregate demand. Most economists use the aggregate demand and supply method primarily to analyze the BA short-run fluctuations in the economy. Notice the question does not have aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and long-run aggregate supply. So the aggregate demand and aggregate supply model is just used for short-run fluctuations in the economy. Number two, during a recession, the economy, falling employment and income. All right, that's usually an AD to the left. And remember, and I'll try to just draw a quick graph here. I'm not going to label things because, but if AD goes left, and I start out at A, and now I'm at B, okay, output definitely decreases. Remember, our GDP, income, output, all on the same direction. Going from A to B, output decreases, income decreases, and employment decreases. So falling employment and income. Again, remember the real GDP, income, and employment all are the same. All right, now, to answer three, we have price levels here. Now, price levels are determined by either the GDP deflator, which would be the best one because we're talking about GDP here. So aggregate demand and aggregate supply graph has the price level on the vertical. Price level can be measured by GDP deflator. So it would be C as in Caroline. And I don't know, maybe they could ask you about the output on the horizontal. It could be another question they could ask that's measured real GDP. All right. But I don't see much different things they could ask there. All right. Let me scroll down. Refer to figure 33.1, that's up there. If the economy starts at A and there's a fall in aggregate demand, okay, so I'm going to shift aggregate demand. I'm going from A to D, okay? But there is no A to D, all right? At D, I'm in a recession. It's a recessionary gap, right? At D, what will happen? I'm making less output. I need less workers. The demand for workers decreases. So wages decrease, supply to the right. So I go to C in the long run. And that's why 4 is C as in Caroline. Now, got to be weary that they could start us at C, say income doubles in the United States. It would be B would be the answer in the short run. A would shift right. And then in the long run, you'd go to A. Okay. You could have also had, if the economy saw today a fall in aggregate demand, in the short run, you'd be at B. You got to make sure where you're starting from and are you in the short and long run. Now, last thing I could say is if the economy starts at A, in the long run, price levels down, out same. In the short run, you go from A to B, price level and output down. Okay, those are some of the things. But again, 4 is C as in Caroline by itself. It referred to the stock market boom. In the short run, what happens to price? So say we start at C. Stock market boom is an aggregate demand shift to the right. We'd be at B. In the short run, price levels up, output up. In the long run, which could be a question on your quiz, we're going to go B, making more output, need more workers, demand for workers increases, wages increase, we're going to A in the long run. Now, they could also ask stock market booms. And the answer could be SRAS shifts left in the long run, right? You're going from C to B. Eventually, you're going to shift supply left to get to the long run. So those are the kind of questions with the stock market boom. You could be going just C to B, output and price level. You could be going C to B to A, which would be price levels up, output the same. Or you could be like just a leftward shift in the long run. So that's what I could see them asking there. Okay. Number 6, anytime I see optimism, I know aggregate demand is shifting right. So it's A as in alpha, okay? And I don't know for 5, stock market boom. Let me just go back there because it would go from C to D, price levels up, output increase, real GDP increases if output increases. But 5 would be a price level and real GDP rise. Okay. Optimism, aggregate demand shifts right. Now, everything we talked about, stock market boom, where you could go aggregate demand shifts right, you could go price levels and output increase, you could go price level and real GDP increase in the short run, you could go, you end up in A in the long run, where price levels are up and output is the same as where you started, and you could have leftward supply shift to get you short run aggregate supply shift to get you to the long run. But just remember, optimism always going to shift to the right, pessimism always going to shift to the left. And you can have the same. You can have a stock market boom. You can have optimism on yours. We have another optimism. Refer to optimism. How is the long run equilibrium different from the original one? Okay, that was something I went over. The price level is higher and real GDP is the same. So 7 is D as in dogwood. Let's just go up here to look. Start at C. Optimism is going to treat aggregate demand to B. Again, I have more workers. I rather making more output, need more workers. Demand for workers increases. Wages go up. I'm going to go to A. Price level is higher than C. Output the same. All right. Number 8, pessimism. You don't even have to read the scenario. Pessimism is going to shift aggregate demand to the left. Okay. In the long run, the change in price okay. I'm going to go up here. Pessimism. Start at A to shift aggregate demand to the left. I'm going to be at B. But they're asking about the long run. So in the long run, I'm going to go from B, where I'm making less output, I need less workers, the demand for workers decreases, wages decrease, therefore I shift supply to the right, I end up at C. At C, price levels are lower. Let me go back to my pessimism. In the long run, the change in price expectations created by right, is C, short run aggregate supply to the right. Okay, let's remember, started at A, pessimism shifted demand to B. Because of lower wages, I shifted aggregate supply to the right, and I got to C. Right, so that's my pessimism in the long run. Okay, so that would be 9. That'd be 9A, short run aggregate supply curve. I'm looking at the wrong one. That would be 8C, right? Short run aggregate supply curve shifts right. All right, production cost. What are production costs? They're on the producer. All right, they're resource. All right, production costs rise. All right, So costs are higher, firms are making less money, therefore they want to supply less. Aggregate supply, short run aggregate supply to the left. Let's see, is there an answer? Yes, B as in broccoli. Okay. Now, they could also ask you about stagflation. Because a leftward supply curve would cause stagflation, right? Price levels up, output down, stagflation. They could also ask for cost push inflation, which is another term for stagflation. So those are the things there. Boom. Would I know it? Which of the following would cause stagflation? D as in dogwood, short run aggregate supply left. Number 11. Suppose the economy is in the long run equilibrium. Concerns about pollution cause the government to significantly restrict the production of electricity. Okay. Same time. Anytime I see at the same time, man, that's a double shifter, right? All right. So suppose the economy is in the concerns about pollution cause the government to significantly restrict the production of electricity. All right. You could restrict electricity would be a resource. So you're going to get supply to the left, and that is price up, quantity down, or output down. All right. Now, the second thing is at the same time, the value of the dollar falls. Oh, great. In the short run. Right. We don't know value of the dollar falls. It makes our goods look very cheap. Foreigners, so net exports would increase as foreigners would buy our goods, so demand would shift right. You do not have to know about the value of the dollar, quite on the practice. So price up, quantity up. What do I know? I know price is going up here, right? I'm not sure about quantity. It could be indeterminate. So I'm going to look, price level will rise, C, and real GDP might rise, fall, or stay the same. C as in Caroline. Again, use the two graphs as I did. The hint is at the same time or simultaneously. It's to me the hint that it's a double shifter. I think be a double shifter on your quiz, just handle it the same way. Which of the following alone can explain the change in the price level and output during World War II? All right. In World War II, if you read the chapter, we had to really build up our military. What's built? Tanks, planes, generals, government spending, AD to the right. 12 is A. Now, the only other thing, because in that little scenario, they also asked about the Depression. And just remember, there was like a lot of causes of the Depression, like the stock market crash. There was a decrease in the money supply. There was pessimism. The banks failed. All those caused the Great Depression. So, you had the stock market crashing, you had high unemployment, you had banks failing, you had a decrease in the money supply, you had pessimism. I could see that instead of the World War II question. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.